Saturday, June 17th, Father's Day weekend. Here I am again in the patio. Some of you might be asking why I'm not in Lake George. I was telling folks that I was going to be at Lake George. Angie Clementine, hello. Yeah, I was supposed to be in Lake George, hence the Lake George, well, there it is, the Lake George mug. I was going to take my father and my mother up there for Father's Day. We love Lake George. It's always been a family getaway for us since we were kids, my brothers and I. But with the weather being the way it is, I know every episode, every video I keep mentioning. Jay, thank you, I appreciate that. Jay's a fan. It just wasn't worth going up. I'd rather go with my family on a day where we don't have to stay in because it's raining. Plus, it was probably gonna be busy up in Lake George anyway. So I came back here to the family patio. Yes, Santa, he's very happy. The camera's a little bit far away from me. I might have to pull this in to read your comments. But what am I talking about? A lot of you guys have been saying, you have a computer right in front of you. Why are you not using the computer to read the comments? And I don't have an answer for that one. So let me pull up this video. This is interesting. I'm gonna watch myself going live. Now, if you've read the headline of this video, it says, Mystery Box. And it says, Bath and Body Works semi-annual sale. Hello, Janelle, how you doing? And yes, I'm not loyal to any one candle company. You know how I feel about Yankee Candle, but candles in general, fragrance, aroma, that's where my passion lies. And so I wanted to join in on the celebration. I'm doing good. It's a little bit humid, but still kind of chilly, which is actually not a bad thing. I have some nice cross breeze. I'm just chilling today with my coffee. Janelle was asking how things were. I gotta get this video up. I'm still getting used to this format, by the way. You gotta do Mickey Mouse every now and then. It brightens up the spirit. It brightens up the soul. Come on now. So what I thought we would do, let me explain this mystery box first. And I'll try my best to keep my eyes on the screen to catch your comments and questions, but we will do hopefully a nice little Q&A before we close, as we always do. This box, although this box does not look old, and it really isn't that old in retrospect, I found this in storage. And if you can read that box, all it says is YC votives. And I found this in storage, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't think I had any votives, Certainly if I did, I probably would have given them away. I wouldn't have packed them up. See, this box came from my big move from California almost 2 years ago, back to the East Coast, and I have no idea what's in this box. And it's pretty heavy, so that's telling me one of two things. Whether there's other things in here that are fun and interesting to unveil, to kind of open up this time capsule, or I have a lot of votives in here, and if I do, I kept them for good reason, so they must be good finds. We have 11 people currently joining us. That's the biggest number in the world, folks, for me right now. That is so amazing that you guys are joining me. You know what? If you guys weren't here to join me, I'd probably be here by myself doing the same very thing right now. So thank you so much for being here, especially on this, again, holiday weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there. All right, this is exciting stuff. And I'm having waves waves of nostalgia, even though this wasn't that long ago. I'm seeing things from my former life, almost, in California. So this appears to be some form of Yankee Candle stocking, not stocking stuffer, but you put a candle in there to give as a gift. I have my nice 80s leg warmers. No, actually that's a little cozy I made for my house warmer jars. Can never have too many tea lights, and I actually will need them today. So if you're just joining in, I'm opening up this box that I found in storage that was labeled Yankee Candle votives, and you know, candles, all my candles made it back from California. Candle time capsule. You know what? I heard candle time capsule, and I love that idea, but I didn't get your whole comment. So make sure at the end of this video, when it's officially posted, type these comments. Don't forget. Don't worry about running on or rambling or anything like that. Make sure, because I read everything. Put all of these questions, comments, recommendations, put them in the comments area below, because I can never use too much recommendations. There's so many ideas, but I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys content that you want to see. Okay, we have a mini, I wish I had a house warmer here. We have a mini Santa Claus hat for a Yankee Candle. That's nice. I didn't know I had that. More leg warmers. Bandana. Oh. Now I remember what's going on here. You guys know what these are? One is giving it away. These are the Dreadful Drip taper candles that you use with your Boney Bunch collections or any candle holder during the Halloween season. You can see right here the Yankee Candle price tag is $7.99, but you gotta love outlets, because I think I purchased these for $1 per package of 2 candles. And when you burn them, there's an inner cylinder of red paraffin wax that drips blood down the center of the candle. Come on. Maybe this is not something new, but that's fun. That will certainly get you into the Halloween spirit. Look at this. Speaking of Halloween spirit, now I swear that's not some form of undergarment. That is a placemat for some spooky Halloween candles. Hello, Nancy. How we doing? I'm having a great day. I hope you are as well. I have one of those mixology candle holders. All right, so I'm gonna break these down really quick. I see tarts and votives. Whoopie pie, look how aged that candle is. But from my experience, this candle, it does have I don't know if it's the dye, the fragrance oil. It is a very, it's a very, how do I say it? Very liquidy candle. It always seems the wax doesn't really ever seem to solidify. Apple cider, I think that might be our winner. Campfire treat, another campfire treat. White Christmas, harvest. Is there something? Aha, there we go. I found something, at least I would consider this at least halfway summer related, and I'm gonna light it. But I wanna show you this one real quick. Napa Valley Sun. As you can imagine, living in Napa Valley, all Napa Valley, people from Napa Valley, that's a huge hit when it comes to candle selections. Balsam and cedar, Jack Frost. Look at that label, Jack Frost. That label, does anybody know? Any self-proclaimed Yankee Candle historians ever know if that label made it onto a jar? Because if it did, I would want to buy it. But I do have the one that's considered the limited edition, the one with the, not the silhouette of the snowman, but the one that's kind of somewhat bedazzled. All right, I was hoping to find something a little bit more obscure in there. However, can't always win. And how can you lose when you have a silver birch candle? All right, so let's get this lit. Something else I found while I was in storage was this tumbler. And honestly, I didn't even remember that I had this. Does anybody remember this coming out? That's how bad my memory is. It's kind of it's a very stout, short Yankee Candle tumbler. I'm gonna pop I have some tinfoil in there. Angie has never heard of whoopie pie. Yeah, you know, that's been gone for some time now, and it's really good. I like it a lot. I'm not trying to compare it with other candles, but it's in the realm of chocolate truffle, chocolate layer cake. It has that deep, powerful, overwhelming chocolate aroma, which is great. Right? How could you ever have too much chocolate? But a lot of people, you know, they're not into the sweet treat candles, not into the overly food or sweet style candles. Do we have a lighter? We do. Got some tea lights in here as well. We've got to create an ambiance to go through these semi-annual sale bags. I didn't buy an incredible amount. I hope it's enough to share with you guys. But the good news is I wasn't planning on being there, but I walked right by the store and I'm like, you know what? I gotta buy some stuff. It's been a while. Last time I bought anything from Bed Bath. If I ever say Bed Bath & Beyond, guys, don't hate me. Or Bath & Body Works. I make that mistake all the time. All right, come on now. All right, and I didn't even share this candle. This was silver birch. So let's burn this silver birch while we talk about what I have inside the bag. Yeah, you know, I love it when I find a really great sales associate at a candle storefront. And, you know, someone who's not out to make the sale, but someone who just likes to chit chat about candles in general. And that's what I found at this particular Bath & Body Works. So speaking of that, let's jump into these bags. Now, if you're somewhat new to the channel, if you're somewhat new to just me as a person in general, you'll know that I'm not an aficionado when it comes to Bath & Body Works. You know, it's not that I have anything against them. I never did. I just, as far as collecting was concerned, Yankee Candle was just something that was very personally nostalgic for me. And, you know, I don't want to say back in the day, but I would say, in my opinion, as of several years ago, 5-6 years ago, they were the companies had two much different philosophies. I think these days they're a little closer to each other. To me, Bath & Body Works was always about kind of luxury looking candles at affordable prices, but very straightforward when it comes to names and titles of their candles. Where Yankee Candle, to me, was more of the storytellers. So the first candle here, this one's not on sale. Is this what you're talking about? Sweet Spearmint. Now, not an overly complex candle, and I want to warn you guys, usually I don't smell these candles, but when I went in, I had to sniff. I had to sniff around because, you know, if I was going to be spending some money, I wanted to make sure that I had candles that I could talk a lot about. Oh yes, this was not part of the sale. That's what happens. I go to semi-annual sales and I buy nothing that's on sale. I'm sure I'm not the only one that does this. So, sweet spearmint. Does anybody own this candle? Does anyone experience this candle? When I smelled this for the first time, one thing immediately came to my mind. Can anyone guess what that is? Sweet spearmint. A very nostalgic scent, and really, I have to say, this is a White Barn candle. They really do make great presentations. I know you guys are experts when it comes to Bath and Body Works, but remember, I am new. Double mint gum. So Jay, so close to what I was thinking, but that totally works as well. What would be close to? He said double mint gum. That this reminded me of as soon as I sniffed it. And to be fair, that, like I said, that's perfectly. I would think that would be a perfectly accurate description. But yes, Angie Clementine, we're getting closer. Wrigley's, not double mint, not juicy fruit. What was the one that came in the white package? The green spearmint gumdrop leaves. All right, I'm not sure about the leaves part. Oh, you mean like actual? No, not actual. Yes. So Wrigley's spearmint gum. So double mint gum had a commercial, right? The twins, double your pleasure, double your fun. Chew double mint gum. Juicy Fruit had a commercial. But did Wrigley's spearmint have a commercial? Does anybody know or remember that? We're talking late 80s, early 90s here. But yeah, as soon as I sniffed this candle, man, I'm like, you know what? It's not an overly complex candle, but it pulls so much out of me. I can't wait for the fall Halloween candles as well. I share your anticipation and enthusiasm. It's my favorite time of the year for scents and candles. Sending love from Israel. April, thank you so much, and thank you for joining. So if you like Wrigley's spearmint gum, and what I mean by Wrigley's spearmint gum, okay, yes, freshly picked spearmint, we get that, that's a given. But this is a highly sugar-fied confectionery or confectioner's sugar sweet. I mean, there should be sugar somewhere. It's called sweet spearmint. Okay, that's fair. There should be sweet somewhere or sugar somewhere on this candle because it's that crystallized, really pungent, powerful spearmint, but not in an herbaceous form. It really is in that candy or chewing gum fashion, and that's all because of the sweetness. You can almost smell that powder, that powdery covering that they put on the gum that goes inside the tin foil so it doesn't stick. Hello, Jake. How we doing? So I picked up one of those 3-wick tumbler. We'll see when that's appropriate to burn. Aha. Okay, this one's really relevant that I got here. Philly, Pennsylvania. How we doing? And yes, autumn is, I find that it is the best time to burn candles. I mean, obviously you want to say Christmas, but I'm one of those people. Are you one of these people where it'll be like June, it'll be March, and it's raining outside, you have the day off, you really don't want to go out in the rain. So you put on, maybe not a Christmas movie, but a movie that has like a lot of snow in it, something like Chevy Chase and Funny Farm, or even a Christmas movie, and you light a Christmas candle. I burn most of my Christmas candles and not during the Christmas season. My favorite Yankee Candle for spring and summer. I will admit, during the spring and the fall, I'm all about the fruit-driven candles. Now that doesn't mean you can't have a little bit of spice in those fruit candles, or you can't have other complexities. But I like the refreshing, fruity candles that are not overly sweet, but authentically fruity. And I think two great examples of that would be this year, just to be fair with Bath and Body Works and Yankee Candle. One would be Sicilian lemon. If you guys haven't smelled that yet, Angie says Bahama Breeze. It's a running joke with Angie and I, or Angie and me. But yeah, Bahama Breeze, Luau, Party. I have Yankee Candle's Juicy Peach, citrus something or other. Something that has that, something that when you smell it, you're like, ooh, I want to drink that on ice. You know, you want to drink or eat that fruit. So yeah, that's what I do on summer. And I'm not gonna speak about Dreamy Summer Nights again, because I speak about it all the time. It's a Yankee Candle that I love. But I just talked too much about it, so I'm gonna put out that review as soon as possible. And I'm hoping to do, and I hope you guys don't take it against me, I'm gonna do kind of like a Game of Thrones / J.R. Tolkien themed video for that candle. I don't know why that's appropriate, but in my head it seems appropriate. Dreamy Summer Nights is what I burn during when I watch Game of Thrones. I'm not a huge fan, but a fan of Game of Thrones. I'm not one of those like people are super intense about it, but I do watch it and I do enjoy it, and I am anticipating the season. And they had to push the season premiere until late July this year because they needed to film so much material in the snow. Rebecca, how we doing? Love Jon Snow. Rebecca, tell Chanel if Chanel's there, or if she's in the next room, or if she's out and she's coming home, tell her I'm gonna respond to her comment really soon. Everybody, that goes for everybody. I'm really behind in answering comments on my videos. I'm usually on top of it within a day or two, but things have just been really crazy, and I like to sit down and devote all of my attention at one time to answering all of the comments. Trust me, if you leave a comment, I will answer. It's just, it might take me a few days. Okay, she's with you, so hello Chanel, how are we doing? You guys burning anything at home? So one that I want to do a review on these candles. I might leave the Sweet Spearmint out, or maybe I will address it. But another brand new candle, or not brand new, it's been out for a while, I think. But I don't think this is a repackage. I've asked as many associates as I could. I wanted a fragrance that was new. You've probably seen lots of reviews on this candle already. This one is going to be, so is it Sweet Sunset? Is that the name of the line, the collection? But this one being Orange Creamsicle. And, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, I look at this image and it brings me right back to like the Pacific Coast Highway. Not, of course, not Santa Monica Pier, but maybe a little bit of like the Huntington Beach Pier, all the wonderful piers in Southern California. When I look at this label, and I really like it when Bath and Body Works puts photography on their candles. But that's not why I purchased it. I purchased it because, have you guys smelled this? There's so much happening inside this candle. I mean, massive coconut, but it's going to not seem massive because it's so well balanced with the really refreshing tart, peachy stone fruit aromas. To me, this smells like a really a rich and ripe piece of stone fruit, whether that be nectarine or peach. But of course, we're getting that citrus as well. Sean did a review on it, yes. So that was one that I was referring to. And it's a good time for me to mention, I don't watch, unfortunately, it's a sad story. For me personally, I don't watch other YouTubers or vloggers, their videos on their reviews, until I've committed to rather review the candle or not to review it. Then it's safe for me to say, because the last thing I would ever want to do is say, watch Sean, who I appreciate and admire his style. I would hate to repeat something that he said, or be influenced by something that he said, and accidentally repeat something that was coming from him. Or example, Anthony from Candle Cafe. This guy comes out with amazing descriptors, and you know, like fun ones too. The ones that I feel like are the ones that help communicate what he's smelling. You know, he throws in a little bit of the nostalgia like I do. And when I watch his reviews, I agree and love hearing his descriptors, but I never want to accidentally repeat something that they've said. So I have to refrain from watching other viewers. So heavy duty creamsicle enhanced by the coconut. That coconut's gonna add to the creamy vanilla aspect to the creamsicle. And if we're talking about orange, you know, I mean, not straight up Tropicana or Minute Maid orange juice. This is like the concentrate, the frozen concentrate that you used to get in the can, the frozen can. And you would, you know, just take a little spoonful and taste that. Or Orange Julius. There is that candy-esque fruit smoothie, dessert quality orange aroma in here. And you guys are probably, I always forget that these have fragrance notes. So that sweet spearmint, and again, I usually never look at these. It just doesn't benefit me. Garden mint leaves, crystallized sugar, and creamy vanilla. But actually that's pretty darn accurate. And orange creamsicle, bright tangerine, sunny yellow zest, creamy iced vanilla. So I love these. I just wish that they weren't called fragrance notes. I just wish they would flesh those adjectives and nouns into a nice poetic statement about the candle. Because when people say fragrance notes, I think we all tend to take them 100% literally, and we shouldn't, because they are sometimes exaggerated descriptions of the truth. Like sunny yellow zest. That's a beautiful way to put it. I'm thinking of like a lemon hanging off a lemon tree in a huge grove, being bombarded with the heat of the sun. And that sun and the heat is expressing the oils in that citrus fruit. I get that. That's a very poetic way of putting it. But sunny yellow zest as a fragrance note, well, what does that mean? You know, fragrance notes are not story time. Fragrance notes are to let you know what are the ingredients inside of the candle. All right, let's keep this going. Let's keep going. It's amazing. I'm watching the people come and go. Okay, Simon Phillips, you love the chat. Sorry you missed the beginning. You didn't miss much. We'll kind of wrap up as we go along what I've been doing the entire time. Now this one, if Rebecca, you're still there, and I understand it's a Saturday. You guys, everyone's really busy doing their thing, especially on a holiday weekend. But I remember this was a recommendation by Rebecca and several other folks. But I saw this. This was on sale. This one is sweet cherry pie. Sweet cherry pie. I mean, how could you not be intrigued by that name? And you know, it's got that frosted glass. It looks like that Hit Refresh collection, which I don't believe that this was included in that. But let me crack this one open. Okay, I'm being told by Music City Beauty that I'm gonna love this one. I did give it a quick sniff. I have to be honest there. I did give it a quick sniff when I was in the store purchasing it. Oh man, I mean this just kind of it pulls at the heartstrings. It does. And the choices, I can in my head imagine several people, you know, these fragrance creators, artists, sitting down talking about this concept. And I can see someone sticking their hand up with a comment, and in my mind it's me saying, let's not overly focus on the cherry. Let's make this uniquely cherry pie, and that's what that is. And the illusion, the way they made this really work is, of course, that concentrated, reconstituted, hot, cherry, syrupy aroma is in this candle, big time. But the major player is that cherry pie crust, the almost overcooked, really crunchy, crumbly cherry pie crust with all of those wonderful baking spices that would be in that crust, you know, the cinnamon, the nutmeg, all of the sugar that's involved. Yeah, so it's being confirmed that I'm not the only one this pulls the heartstrings. And to be funny, no one in my childhood handmade cherry pies. Hello, Tracy. Yes, a little late, but that's okay. That's good. That's all good. We're just chilling. We're just hanging out. That's what these lives are about. We're talking about sweet cherry pie. And yeah, I mean, to me, this smells like, I almost see the little, what do we call those? The little thumb, or pinches, I should say, that we find. I'm not a baker, guys. The little pinches on the sugar pie, or the cherry pie crust. That's all golden brown, crispy, crumbly. So baking spice, big time graham cracker action, cherry pie. I say this from time to time, Maillard reaction. It's just, you know, I'm not saying it to sound pompous or pretentious. It's just, you know, any bakers, chefs, or even people who don't work in the culinary industry, Maillard reaction is just a enzymatic browning of food. So whether that be a steak that you sear, or in this case, when you brown a pie crust, you know, it enhances that flavor. Maillard reaction, not to be confused with caramelization. But wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, you know, I close my eyes and I remember an old Disney Mickey Mouse cartoon where Minnie is cooking pies and letting them cool down in the windowsill, and Mickey outside is drawn to the aroma of the pies sitting on the windowsill. But Minnie, she won't let him taste. She won't let him have that cherry pie. I forget the name of that short, but that was one of my favorite short subjects with Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse. Wish you can get these candles in the UK, Simon. Yes, you know, I fully understand the dilemma, and it's sad, you know. I wish there's something I could do. I wish I could, like, create like a fundraiser to get people to help get these candles to everyone in the world who really wants them but doesn't get a chance. So again, I will be doing reviews on these candles, but one that I had to get, if you saw my Hit Refresh dual episode reviews on the Hit Refresh Bath & Body Works candles, I reviewed 9 of the fragrances that were a part of that collection. But then when I stumbled into Bath & Body Works the other day, they told me months afterwards, and I predicted that they might do this, that they threw a 10th fragrance into that collection, and this one is Watermelon Lemonade. And I didn't have to get it, but I wanted to. Have you guys burned this? Do you guys like this? Wow. That aroma just came at me real hard. All right, so let's see what we have in here. It's just powerful. All right. Let's keep this in my mind. I got those images. See, when I go through my mind when I'm trying to evaluate aromas, it's like a Rolodex spinning really fast. And what I have to do is remember the images that work. I'm getting your comments, folks. Getting your comments. All right, and so what came up in my Rolodex of memories or images, internal or third eye kind of memories, stories, is Little League, at the ballpark, after the game, or if I was watching my brothers play, you'd go to the food stand. Mrs. Barone, my 8th grade math teacher, she'd be selling the hot dogs and the sodas and the Gatorades, but she'd also sell one of my favorite things. It was, oh God, I can't remember the name of the company, but the Italian ices that came in the little yellow cups, and you'd peel off. Don't worry, Maggie, don't worry about being late. You'd peel the little lid off, and then it would come, I believe, with a wooden spoon. Maybe it wasn't a wooden spoon, maybe they just gave you a spoon. But this reminds me of watermelon Italian ice. And it certainly does smell good enough to eat or drink. But let's not stop at the watermelon, and let's go with the obvious. Yes, there is a lemonade quality here, almost a heavily infused lemon iced tea, because I am getting a lot of the essence of the lemon extract, a lot of the concentrated forms of the lemon, as if you had those fresh sliced lemons floating in the pitcher of watermelon lemonade. So, but other fruits coming through to me, that watermelon naturally isn't that sweet. There's a lot of berry action here. If we have any Merlot lovers out there, and don't hate on Merlot. Merlot's good, in my opinion. But if we have any Merlot lovers out there, the fruit profile that we find on Merlots usually tends to be in the red fruit / blue fruit realm. You're never going to get things like blackberry, boysenberry, cassis, things of that nature, huckleberry, things like that. I mean, some Merlots you can. It's totally possible. But if you're trying to study wine and trying to understand Merlot and its basic aromatic profiles, it's more of the red fruit, and that's what's coming through to me here. And the reason why I bring that up, if you like Merlot, I'm fascinated by the idea of burning candles to pair with wine, and this one would be fantastic because I'm definitely getting the red currant, a highly sweetened version of cranberry pomegranate, but most importantly, strawberry. Okay, so I had a comment about, I didn't get to catch all of it, about the performance of these candles. And I'm repeating these questions like you guys can't see them. Yeah, strawberry, watermelon snow cones, watermelon Jolly Ranchers, all coming to mind. Man, it's reminding me of a lemon dessert as well. This does kind of smell like you took Bath and Body Works sugared lemon zest, or even, to be fair, Yankee Candle Sicilian lemon, and you added a whole lot of like Jolly Rancher to it, like a candy form of strawberry and watermelon. That's really pleasant. I could only hope, wish, and pray that when this burns, that it has the strength, the power that this candle is showing right now. Elvira, I love your name, by the way, Elvira. I was so close to buying a puppy when I was in California, and I was gonna name her Elvira, and then I realized I was gonna move, so I figured, I might hold off on buying the puppy. Beautiful name. Is that it? All right, so to cover real quick, and again, trust me, if I'm filming a lot more segments these days. I've amped up my game a little bit. I've started to really challenge myself. So I will probably sit down with these and do a little bit of more context behind the candles. For example, like, why not? Why would I not take this strawberry or sweet cherry pie? Why would I not take this candle to a bakery? A place where or the Culinary Institute of America, for example. I'm an alumni, and I visit the Hyde Park and the California Greystone Napa Valley campus all the time. Why would I not take that there and talk to the students and see what they feel about the authenticity of these pastry / food scented candles? Maybe I can go visit Mrs. Barone. I hope Miss Barone at the Little League Park, she's still selling the treats after all of these years. Knowing her and her enthusiasm and passion to help the community, I'm sure she's still there. So maybe I'll bring that there, introduce you to Mrs. Barone, and I could tell her my story and my association with that candle. This is what I mean about getting out there and putting context behind the candles. And orange creamsicle. I've been thinking about this one. But I've also been thinking a lot about these summertime fragrances. We're inching closer and closer to summer, which means I need to start producing and filming, getting them in the can, summer themed shows. So I might have a location for that one, but I want to keep that secret for now. Maggie, I think she's making a comment to you folks, but she's fascinated with my smelling ability. Trust me, my nose is average at best. It's practice. That's what it's all about, which is a great segue, because something that I have right here addresses a lot of people's questions regarding my sensory evaluation. You may or may not know at this point, I do come from a wine background. That's why I'm always throwing in wine. I lived in Napa Valley. We all probably know that by now too. But when I was living in Napa Valley, I was studying in Napa Valley. So going to the Culinary Institute of America, I really thought, and this one being in Hyde Park, New York, I really felt like, wait a minute, what if I took this wine thing to the next level? If I transferred out to Napa Valley, I worked in Napa Valley, trained to become a certified sommelier, which was really a dream of mine since, I started to really get into beverages. I love everything beverage related. I mean, coffee, tea, sake, beers, wines, everything beverage. And out there, everyone just seems to be so much more beverage conscious, of course, out there. But to answer address my point, a lot of people ask me, what do you recommend as far as training your nose? How do you go about it? What can I do to improve my sensory evaluation as far as using my nose? And I really get worked up inside when I'm reading the comments and someone says, oh, my nose isn't good enough to do that. Please, it's not about that. It's a very hard thing to do, but you just have to work on it. And there's a lot of tips, tricks that are involved in training your nose. It's funny, we say train your nose, but it really has to do with the olfactory sense, whether you're tasting something, smelling something, everything that's happening back here, touching the olfactory bulb, is stimulating the brain, and it's making it react in very different ways. And for me, it always pulls out images. So, if you're looking for a book, if you're a wine aficionado, or if you don't care about wine in the slightest bit, I recommend this mammoth. This is an official textbook from the Culinary Institute of America, written by two of my mentors. We have Michael Weiss and Stephen Copan, who have been huge inspirations in my life. Brian Smith, the third co-writer of this textbook, unfortunately passed away many years back, and I never had the chance to meet him personally. But this is the third edition, Exploring Wines. And trust me when I say, whoa, there's a lot of treats in here. Studying materials. You can never have too many studying materials. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I thought that was an exam that I took. I'm like, I don't think I was supposed to have that. So inside this book, what they do is very simply step you, and remember, because students at the culinary, a lot of them are starting when they're 18, 19 years old. So it introduces you very slowly into the world of wine and grapes, explains all of those questions that you're so afraid to ask sometimes in the wine shop. But then it slightly gets one step at a time more and more intense. And then they dial it in and focus on very specific regions of the world, and tell you how to use your nose, how to pair wine with food, what good, what aromas go well together, which ones complement each other, which ones make it challenging to be paired with one another, which aromas bridge each other, and contrast as well. And this, like I said, this is the third edition. You can find this on Amazon used, because, like I said, every student who goes to the Culinary Institute of America has to purchase this book. So that means you do find a lot of them used on Amazon. This is the third edition, and I had a conversation with one of the authors of this book, and it sounds like this will be the last edition as far as them updating this particular book. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm gonna buy it and there's gonna be a brand new edition in a month. This is it. This is still very contemporary. This is still very relevant. It's not out of date at all. There's a few things in the wine industry that have blatantly changed since this book was released, but I'm speaking more about training your nose. I think you guys will really get a kick, and it'll change the way you look at life. You'll start walking around smelling everything at the grocery stores and farmers markets. You'll go outside hiking and experience a whole new part of the world using your nose. I just feel that a lot of people, we just put it out of our mind. Aroma doesn't play a large key role in our lives, and it really should. I believe it really should. And this just spreads the awareness, will get you really excited about using this sense of smell that we don't seem to just rely on it or use it as much as we could. I'm telling you, aroma makes life better. It truly enhances the world and the way we can interact with the world. And I should just say this is not a sponsored video. I'm not being paid to say any of these things about this book, but I do want to push this book. When I was working in Napa Valley, people would say, what's like the one book? There's so many wine books out there. What's the one that covers everything? And I would be able to follow and understand it. Exploring Wine. I've read this book from cover to cover at least 7 times. And that's not an exaggeration. And could possibly be me. I could have read it more, let's put it that way. We're getting close to the hour already, and where 19 folks are watching. So I want you guys to start thinking of the most obscure, the most complicated candle questions that you could possibly come up with. Maybe that's a good idea, because that might help stimulate a direction for a chat. Or if you have any questions in general, I think now is a good time to do it, because I do want to keep these live videos to about an hour. And while you guys are thinking up those questions, if anyone joined us late or is joining us now, just to recap, we did do, if you want to watch the video later and leave comments, we went over several products that I purchased at Bath & Body Works for the semi-annual sale, even though some of them weren't on sale. I will be doing reviews on those. I opened up a mystery box. I'm gonna try to find more of these mystery boxes. There's so many boxes from when I moved that there's gotta be a lot of cool candle accessories in a lot of them. Opened up a mystery box filled with votives and accessories, all from Yankee Candle. But what was interesting is I had no recollection what was inside those boxes. I'm missing comments. Keep typing. How do I store my candles? Excellent question. Well, it's been a challenge, Elvira, let me tell you, because I'm not a madman, I'm just holding a pocket knife. In California, you don't have to worry about humidity, which was great. The apartment that I had, my office, I always like to keep it's the editor, the film editor in me, the video editor. It's always good to just keep it dark. So my office really was, I had blacked out the windows. It's the best way to edit, to make sure you're looking at the colors properly on the screen. And so there was never light exposed to the candles, there was zero humidity, and I kept the temperature. I was very conscious of the temperature never getting too warm. Now in the East Coast, you have a whole new enemy, and it's the same thing with wine. Ironically, it's the same thing with wine. You're dealing with high humidity. So I recommend you store your candles just like you would store your wine, in that realm of 70 degrees, no more than say like 70%. What is it? 70% humid. You want to keep the humidity low, and you want to keep the light low. So both the sunlight and artificial light, tungsten bulbs in your house, fluorescent bulbs in your house. So you don't have to keep them in a dark room. But unfortunately, I think that the way to solve the issue is to throw a really nice throw blanket on top of your hutch, or create some form of keeping light off the candles. And being conscious of the humidity is very important. Degrees in Celsius, don't go crazy. I can't convert Celsius. I mean, I'm using my phone to do this. I would usually ask Siri. Just ask Google 70 degrees Fahrenheit in Celsius. If anyone can do that conversion right now, I would really appreciate it. The carafe. This carafe? This is an oldie. It's really beat up. This came out of, I hope you mean this and don't mean this. Okay, so 70 degrees Fahrenheit is 21 degrees Celsius. Thank you so much, Simon. This came out of an old coffee pot. I use the French press to make my coffee, and it's very important when you use the French press to remove that coffee immediately as soon as it's done, because even when you plunge the French press, the coffee is going to continue to brew. So I've had this thermos for a long time. It really, really does a good job holding in the heat. Lake George mug. We talked about Lake George as well. I should bring that up again. I was supposed to be in Lake George today, guys. I apologize. I was promoting it. Oh, and let me speak about this. I was going to film the 6C America candles, all in Cape Cod. I was going to go to the Cape Cod National Seashore, whatever they call it, National Seashore Park, and the weather was just atrociously bad. Yeah, it's looks like one from Friendly's, or I think IHOP uses plastic, excuse me, plastic ones, but I totally see what you mean. But the Cape Cod trip didn't work out. Yeah, humidifiers, dehumidifiers. I mean, they're quite expensive these days. You don't have to buy a monstrosity, but you really want to make sure that it's not like a $20 one and that it actually works. And the problem is it eats up a lot of electricity. So it's like, it's really bad. It's one of those things where it's whether you're collecting wines or collecting candles on the East Coast, it's just one of those things. It's a part of being a collector. You have to take care of the humidity. That humidity can really alter the aromas and change the structure of the candle. I've seen not even a tremendous amount of heat, but moderate heat literally sap out the fragrance oils of the candles. So much so that there was liquid floating on top of my candles, and it wasn't even that hot. So never leave them in your car. Same thing with wine. That's why the sommeliers in restaurants, they always look at the cork, because that's going to tell you whether or not that bottle, one of the many things it'll tell you is if that wine has been exposed to heat for an extended or even a short period of time. 3 minutes, folks, and I keep missing your questions. That's all my fault. Okay, so fragrance creation, the mixology of essentially, I think candle makers are perfumers. I mean, really doing, in my mind, the same thing. And in many ways, I feel like winemakers are that too. I haven't firsthand been with a company other than smaller companies, like out of the house or out of the office or out of a small studio space, been a part of this process. It's not an easy thing. It's not like, oh, you put a little cinnamon in there, a little bit of nutmeg in there, a little bit of this honey fragrance oil, bam. Maybe some apple, and we have an apple cider candle. It doesn't quite work that way. There's a lot of trial and error involved. There's a lot of variables. And it is something that systematically, step by step, I'm trying to learn more and more about. Candle making and the process. Visiting candle companies, showing the process, showing the philosophy behind the candles. That's all going to be on the future of this channel. That's what this plan was the entire time, was to focus on aroma, spread awareness of aroma, experience the world using the aroma, having fun, taking adventures, but also to see the people who are doing it, who work in the industry, and hear their stories. Yankee Candle should hire me. Well, I would love to collaborate on Yankee Candle. I would love to collaborate with Yankee Candle at some point. And I would love to do a first-hand inside look of their factory. That's why it's important, when I say it's important that this channel keeps growing and spiraling out, collectively we grow as a group. That's what I mean. I'm not in this because it's a popularity contest. I want us to be able to knock on Yankee Candle's door and be like, look, we got a lot of people watching this programming, and we would just like to know some basic answers. I mean, we're all friendly, right? We have no haste. We have no angst. We're not in it to spread negativity. We just want to learn more about the products that we love so much. So to be able to gain entrance into the Yankee Candle factory, for example, or even corporate, is something that I've been trying to coordinate but I think we need a little bit more time and a little bit more growth as far as subscribers. So if you want to see that happen, get your friends, get your family, tell them to watch a couple episodes if they like watching a really strange guy who worked in the wine industry talk about candles. If they find that funny in any way, or if they find it entertaining, if they like going on crazy adventures and talking to strangers, asking them about candles, getting people's opinions, have them subscribe, at least suggest it. Like I said, the more we grow, the more value we'll have in this channel. We're gonna be able to knock on those doors instead of them saying, I don't know, it's like, I don't know if I have the time in the day to answer your question. They see that, oh my God, this channel has an audience of, several thousand people watching. I think they might have a different mindset. I think everyone, Elvira, to answer your question or statement or address your statement, everyone who's a candle lover, I think their families all feel the same way. But I was very lucky to, Facebook group would be great, but that's beyond my realm of control. If anyone wants to take the leap to be the head honcho of a Facebook group, this is my blessing. Go ahead and do it. But when it comes to social media and the time I have to spend editing and filming, I would be afraid of that I would neglect it too much. Getting a show on the Travel Channel, that's, if you told me 3 years ago, or maybe even just 2 years ago, that's something that would be cool to me, I wouldn't have believed you. And even now, I don't think I want to do it. I like the YouTube format because there's no producer standing here. There's no director standing here. I have complete creative freedom. I can talk about anything I want, and I don't have to filter or censor myself. And I might be mistaken, but I think that's why some of you guys enjoy this format, is that nothing I'm saying is scripted. Everything I'm saying is coming from here, and I'm pointing to my heart, if you can't say that, or I just can't see that. I think that, and there's something about one person with one camera. Yes, and I can interact with the audience, and I can answer your questions. That's a very good point too. There's something about that. The one person, well, I have several cameras, but you know what I mean. There's something very intimate about that experience. It's as if we all collectively together can go out and learn, gather information, have fun. Like I said, go on adventures. And you can join anytime you want vicariously. You can even be an influence on the show. I would be lying if I said that I didn't flat out take people's suggestions saying, oh, you should do this as an episode. I use your suggestions all the time. Let me read this. I know you guys can see, I enjoy the format very much. I enjoy your clumsiness from time to time. I am super clumsy. Sometimes I like to make you guys chuckle a little bit, but I definitely trip more than the average person. I don't know what it is. I just have a tendency to slip and fall or find myself in precarious situations. All right, we're officially over that 1 hour mark. So let me close by saying a few things that are not as exciting as candles, but very important to the future of this show indeed. At the end of my videos now, you might be noticing a little card that says a Patreon. Patreon is a way for you guys to be a contributor to the show if you so desire. My content, my shows, they are free. You never ever have to feel obligated to give anything back. They are for you and your families and friends to enjoy. However, Patreon does allow you to just throw in $1. Throw in $1 a month. If you got $2, don't throw in a lot, but it's like a PBS kind of thing. The more money we can raise as a group, the more we can do. The more candles I can buy. I swear this is not for my own personal financial gain. It's just to help kind of push the content, help go towards putting gas in the car, help getting, hotel rooms in Canada that I hope to do very shortly, airfare, candles, products, all of that stuff. It's any of these donations are not from me. They're just, again, for you to essentially be an associate producer of this channel, because what you're doing is keeping the show on the feet. You have to look at this. I'm sitting in the car and I have my hands on the wheel, right? I'm ready to go, but we gotta get fuel in that car, because I'm burning through it really quick. So my goal and hope is that I'm taking care of myself, but I want to see if we can help have this Yankee Candle community, Candle Enthusiast community to be, partially self-funded. And so Patreon, you can visit my Patreon account. It breaks down all of the details. There's many different levels, but truly don't give a lot of money. I'm saying that, I'm telling you that firsthand. $1 goes a long way, trust me. So patreon.com/the Candle Enthusiast. You'll find that in the description below, and all of my videos, and in the future, when this video is officially posted as well. Take a look at it, read it, but don't feel obligated at all to have to participate. You're always welcome to come view. In fact, I owe everything to you guys. So on that note, happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. My dad, I want to give a sincere thank you and an appreciation for not only being a fantastic father, but always embracing my idiosyncrasies, my creativity, always being, whenever, I would say, Dad, I want to be a filmmaker, or Dad, I love candles. Dad, I don't know why, but I love Disney. Even as a kid, even as an adult man, he's always been supportive of the idea of being who I am and embracing it. So Dad, thank you, and happy Father's Day. I'll be spending it with you. And to all of you other fathers, like I said out there, thank you for doing what you do. I don't know how you guys do it. I see the dads and the moms at Disneyland, and man, I just want to sometimes stop and just say, nicely done. The way they handle situations, it's amazing. Kudos to you. I think I would have a difficult time enough just taking care of a dog. But we're approaching 70 minutes now, folks. This goes without saying. I appreciate you. I love you guys all from the bottom of my heart. You are this show. We are this show. This show is not about me any longer. We're in this together. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to experience this part of my life. I'll promise to take you everywhere I plan on going in the near future, and we're going places. We just have to hope, keep our fingers crossed that this weather gets better so we can start enjoying the summer season. So Simon, thank you, and see you next time. Everyone who's joined, thank you very much. And I'll be seeing you guys real soon. Bye-bye, Tracy. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good one. This is the uncomfortable moment when I hit the finish button, but there's those few last seconds when it's still going. And Rebecca and Chanel, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Maggie.